Hi everybody, it's Michael. Welcome to New Victory Gardening. So it's kind of in between today, and I have a task that I'm gonna take up. We'll see how it goes, but I just don't need this tree right here. And so what I like to do is take the time that I spend on this tree and instead put it on making really delicious grapes. And this is what's called a fruit salad tree. So there are 3 different fruits. And without getting into too much detail, one's a nectarine, one's an apricot, and one is a plum. And so this tree, this single tree, produces apricots in June, nectarines in July, and plums in August. It provides you with fruit all summer. Why am I getting rid of it? Well, I just have other trees I like better. As you might have known, I like apples quite a bit, and I like peaches quite a bit, and I like grapes quite a bit, and I would rather spend more of my time keeping those healthy and well than having to split my time between too many different things. And so my plan is to take this tree out, but I don't want to lose the fruit on the tree. And so what do? Well, I'm going to try to graft it. And so what I'd like to do is get this portion of the tree here, which is a nectarine, and graft it onto my peach tree. Peaches and nectarines are really close. I'm hopeful I can get a graft going, and then at least my tree there will produce peaches and nectarines, and I'll still be there. And then slowly, maybe over the next 2 or 3 years, I'll cut off some of the portions of this tree, leaving only the plum, and then I'll probably within a year or 2 take the plum off and devote all of my time to producing the best grapes, or at least better grapes. You know, you only do the best you can do. And so today I'm going to take up a task in trying to select a few of these little branches here. So it's not quite warm enough for me to graft them, but it is warm enough for me to select some. And what you do is clip them, and wrap them in a moist paper towel and put them in the refrigerator, and they'll last you for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even longer. And then once the weather gets just a little warmer than what it is now and a little more consistent, I can go out and I can execute my graft. And so why don't we do that and get started with trying some grafting today. And so for today, my tools that I'll be using are these, pruners. The sharper the better. Like I said, for New Victory Gardening and this concept, we're not looking for, or at least I'm not looking for, like a whole bunch of individual tools. I'm looking to buy 1 or 2 tools that can do a lot of different things. And so that way my expenses are down. And if I have several things that do several things, it's more likely that those several things will overlap. Okay, what am I looking for? Well, I know the fruit is not gonna come from this wood here. That's a main branch, it's just support. And there's a cocoon on it. Let me take that cocoon off. Wow, have y'all seen a cocoon before? The little animals get started early. Oh, funny. That's too rough. That's a little smoother, but still not. But I think this will. Yeah, it has good buds on it. If you can see the buds, it has really good, buds. Still looks gentle enough. And so this is one, even though it's lower on my tree, I think it'll be a good candidate. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna clip this one. I'm gonna clip it quite a ways below where I intend to graft. That way I have plenty of plant to work with. Actually, I may take a little bit more. Okay, so that's one. I think my goal is to get 7 of them today. If I could do that from the ground, that'll be better. But if you notice, my tree has grown up. It needs to be pruned, so why don't we just go up the ladder, and I'll see if I can get my camera adjusted right. You can get a first-hand view of what I'm seeing. Yes, that branch is right in my face. Yes, I have to bend around it. It's right in my face. Well, what I'm looking for are like that other one. Let me take this branch out of my way. And let me reiterate the importance of having sharp pruners. Oh yeah, that one's good. Oh yeah, I think that'll be good. It's a little small though. What I'm looking for, I think I want is something kind of like pencil size, like the size of a pencil, right? Yep, I think this one might work. It's funny because you have a plant here and it can grow, you know, and so this tip may be too small and this part may be woody and too thick, but the middle is just right. And so that's what I'm looking for here. I'm like, the middle of this one looks good to me. And it's got the thickness. So what I will store, of course, I'll remove these branches that are growing here. I'm gonna store these. And I will try, I might take that down just a little bit, but I'm going to take it from this smaller side, right? At least my thinking is that each of these is where branches will grow, where the plant will grow and spread. And so that's what you need to have. These nodes, you see they're not budding, but maybe they could at some point, but okay, two. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Let me take this one. She's budding out and growing. That'll, I think, serve my purposes. I'm taking about a 12-inch branch, and I'm looking for something pencil sized, just right around the thickness of a pencil. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have, I need to clip that part off. Hold on. So we have 7 sticks of a nectarine. And our goal is to try and get the production of 2 different fruits onto one plant so that I can reduce my need to tend all of my trees. I'll go on record saying that tending trees is excellent, and if you can have at least one tree, even if it's just a small tree in a container, is very much worth your time. Hello again. So it's been about a week and I think the weather conditions are perfect. It's a warm day and we're gonna have a series of warm days, and I think the trees are showing, they're giving a good sign that they're ready, that they're starting to take water. They're the beginnings of bloom. And so with this weather pattern, I think it's a perfect day to get out here and continue the process. So we'll select some branches and go ahead and graft today. And so to do that, I got some supplies here. Oh, supplies, a grafting knife, some grafting wax, and some tape that you can use to secure your grafts so that they have a better chance of success. And so that's what we'll be using today. I just need to get the stuff out of its packaging. There's one other thing I forgot. All right. I think we should get started. So here we are. You know, I'm gonna select my branch. I want to select a branch that gets good full sun exposure and you know, is a big enough branch because I want to put about 2 or 3 grafts. Hopefully one of them will take on each one. And so my tree splits 3 ways. It kind of splits this way, and then it splits up, and then there's a branch that comes kind of mostly south, and then it has another branch on the north side, which that branch is only doing so-so this year. So we'll see how that branch grows. And so I selected this one here, the south-facing branch, for that reason. And if you can see, you see, oh, that branch is a little further along, but you know, it's funny how just 1 week of kind of like warm sunshine, and it'll bring on these plants to respond. And for those buds that were lying flat to start budding out and taking on water, that's exactly what we want. And so stuff out here. So I use one pocket knife to get out another knife. There's one. It should be very sharp. Don't play difficult with me. There we go. It's funny because you look at this stuff and it's not exactly cheap, right? It's borderline expensive. Oh wow, that wax is pretty stiff. I may have to heat that. Hopefully, I was hoping sitting in the sun would do it. And this tape, Clark's Grafting Tape. It's American made, right? Yeah. If I could just get the Clark's Grafting Tape label off of it. All right, there we go. Okay, where are we at here? Oh, there it is. Yep, so it's like a cloth tape. It's kind of stretchy with a light adhesive. Good. Okay, I think we're cool. All right. Get around here. Nothing to it but to do it, right? Okay. And so that's one, but I also want, oh yeah, she's not two. Makes excellent mulch. I use the mulch that I prune closest to my plants. Makes a great mulch that the plants really respond to. Okay. For this branch, I think I'm gonna prune this one out too if I can. There we go. Kind of isolate. You want it to send its energy, if at all possible, into the grafts, not into other branches. If you leave branches, it's kind of a natural habit of it can be, I guess, a habit to send energy into what's left and not into your grafts. So that's why some people just prune the whole tree, because the tree may just kill off that whole arm if you don't clear it out, right? And we don't want that. We want it to continue to send. It's just to recognize what we put there, right? All right, so I'm gonna thin this tree out some. Make sure she's thinking mostly. We'll see how this happens. See how this works, huh? Okay. Okay, I think we're good. I have the scions here. Kind of been trying to keep them moist. But they still look okay. Okay, it looks like I got buds still intact, which is good. Yeah, it looks like it didn't lose too much water. That's always nice. So I'm gonna prune it up just in case the bottom got dry. I'll prune it up just a little bit and prepare it with my knife here. To get it down to where it'll fit under the bark. That's the whole point, is to expose as much of that as possible. See, on the middle there is just for support. The part that takes on water. There we go. This is like a pocket knife. It's just really thin. It's designed to be able to make nice, thin, sharp slices. That's it. A box cutter could do this too. Yep, I think that'll do. Number one. I'm gonna do 3. I feel the urge to hurry. Hurry up! Don't let these things dry out. But I did a video before about vitality in these plants this time of year, and it was just amazing because I just left cuttings out for like 3 weeks, and they were completely detached from the tree. And I'm gonna use a little different style here. And they were still alive, right? They didn't dry out. They actually bloomed. It was amazing. I'm probably not doing this perfect. Comment, please. I'm always open for that. Right. All right, that's a little different style. Do number 3 here. The knife works beautifully, by the way, so I'm happy to have that. It's nice and sharp and works beautifully, which is exactly what you want with a grafting knife. Slides right through. I'm sorry I maybe don't have this in front of the camera. I'm trying to focus more on doing it as good as I can, doing the best job I can, and getting it to that profile that I'm looking for. There you go. It's like vaguely like sharpening a pencil. Okay, some dress up there. Okay, we have 3. We got 3. Here we have them. 3. They're all like reeds. It's just one's double shaved and the other 2 are single side shaved. Okay, so now let's deal with this. And put in a triangle shape on the top here. So you want to just kind of, what do I have, about 1 inch or 2? I want to break through the bark about 1 inch or 2. For me, that stroking back is easier than pushing like that. I'm gonna just grab this. If I get, push down ever so gently, and then that's why you have this top part here, is to kind of, I must be nervous, huh? There we go. Just gently open up a way, right? Both sides. I wish this was a locking one. That's the only thing, is that this is not locking, and I would really like it if it was. There you go, number 1. I'll put number 2 over here. This side is really thin. I'm doubtful this side will take, but gently back up and cut through, hope and pray. Cut through, then pry, be careful, pry up. I don't like that side. I like this side. There's a lot more water on this side, as you can see. So I'm gonna go there, just about 1 inch. See if I can get this to work. Oh yeah, that's nice. Be gentle. If I can get it to come up, this will save me so much, and I can focus on a couple different, if I can get 2 crops out of this one tree, save me a lot of space. And I really prefer pulling than pushing into the wood. But you see, I'm just wedging making a little space there. That's what I'm going to put these. I'm trying not to damage the tree at all if I don't have to, but just gently, as you can see, flexing him up, right? Making that little space. There we go. And I know there's water on this side, so that's helpful. It needs to be big enough for what I made to fit into it. Okay, get 2. And we'll go ahead, and I want as much contact as I can as I stick these in. I'm going to give them lots of good contact all the way as far down as I can get. Hopefully go underneath the bark, but then also underneath the part that you didn't cut and loosen. But to go all the way, right. Whew. So do I need some new glasses? So we're gonna just push this under as far as I can reasonably make it without tearing anything. And then get a nice firm grasp. And I think we're good. I think we're good. Nothing to it but to do it right. If you mess it up, just do it again. It's a great thing about this kind of stuff. Don't be afraid to give it a try. I wanted to get 3 on here, and so I'm gonna still try to. It's just where I really like this side because it's got a little bit of water coming into it already. The bark here is still dry. The tree wood and everything is still dry, so it's not as likely, I don't think, for the, this is kind of damaged, but it's not as likely, I think. Like this pulling technique. So I'm pulling the knife towards me instead of pushing it. Right. Line it up with the trunk. Gently press just through the bark. Gently press just through the bark. You don't want to damage anything underneath if you don't have to. Right? Make sure your knife has gone down the whole way. For me, grab this part. I'm going to gently try to work the bark up. When the branch has got water in it, it's a lot easier. Here it's not as easy. There it is. Ever so slightly. And you have to be super careful because this is a very sharp knife and it will cut you. So as you're coming in, lifting the bark up, I don't know. I feel better about the other 2. This one, it just doesn't look like. We'll give it a try though, but for me it doesn't look like we have the setup here. Maybe the tree will take on some water and it'll get better. But it just doesn't look like there's the setup I'm looking for. Okay. Of course I got my thickest branch here. See if we can fit this in. See if she'll take. There we go. Pushed a little too hard. See what I'm talking about? We'll repair that though. And the funny thing is it can still take. There we go. I just want to get good contact. Good contact, right? So you want good contact between that layer just under the bark and the layer just under the bark on your grafts. And then you want like for me, you don't want them to dry out. My next main concern is that they'll dry out. And I do not want them to dry out. Wrap this tape with a little bit of pressure. Making sure I cover. This is a stretchy cloth tape, fortunately, but I do want to cover do want to cover. Right. Okay. So I think we're okay there. Can we see? Let me get out of the sun. See that? Have it taped up. Okay, now I want to see about some wax here. I don't think you're supposed to use them both together. I'll be honest. This has been sitting out in the sun for a minute, but I don't think you're supposed to use this. I don't think they ever intended for you to use tape and wax together. But I'm gonna do it because I like that wax is more natural, and I just wanna do my best to secure as much of this as possible. This wax is stiff, it's the way it should be. But what I want to do is push this and cover this, even on the tape, because I want it to keep as much moisture as it can. So that's why I'm doing this like this. I want to tape it to secure it so that I know the grafts have great contact, and then I want to wax it so that it doesn't lose water. It doesn't dry out on me, and then I might secure it with a little more, but we'll just see. This wax smells nice. Can you burn this wax? Keep this wax away from your kids. They may eat it. They may think it's that. Anybody used to have that little wax candy that had like sugar water in it? You eat that wax candy and you kind of chew on it. It didn't chew very good, but you didn't care because you was going after the sugar water that was in it anyway. Anybody remember that? Okay. My goal here is literally to do my best to trick this tree into thinking, oh, I'm okay. I thought I was hurt, but I'm not. So I'll keep sending water to that branch. And I'll keep trying to grow through that branch. That's what I'm doing here. That's my main goal, is to try and just keep the tree feeling like everything is okay. Seal all these holes around and seal the tops of the graft so that everything stays. You know, I didn't think, I guess I should go get a towel to get this wax off of me. At some point, I'm gonna have to get the wax off of my finger. At some point, y'all bear with me. Okay. Got a good layer of wax down. It's like my grandfather says, don't be stingy. Use the stuff. That's what you bought it for. Give it a chance to work. Use it. Alright. Alright, so we've waxed. And to be honest, if one of these branches here catch and takes, I will be more than happy. There it is. So you made it to this point in the video. Thank you so much for watching and staying. You know, I don't usually make videos this long, but I thought for this, which is a more advanced thing that I would just show you what I did, and we can both evaluate how good it was and how I could have improved it, or how I could have done things differently to get maybe a better result. You'll see the result at the end of the video, and I certainly have my thoughts and ideas about how I could do it better the next time I take it up. But I like to ask and just gently request that you become a subscriber to New Victory Gardening. YouTube is a part of this, but I'm not really doing this with YouTube as my main goal. YouTube is just a part of a desire that I have to be a source, for gardening, and to provide seed, and to be out and around in my community, providing support. This year's been an interesting year for me because I've done things like grafting, but I didn't really start my garden. So from year to year, things change or things are different, and maybe some years you start your seeds real early and you get your garden going and you start harvesting from it really early, and you have just a long, beautiful gardening season. And other seasons, things come up and you just don't have that much time to garden, and you start your plants late, and you are not able to harvest as much as you would normally. And so this is an example of how you can build in some resiliency for when you're able to garden, or if things come up and you're not able to, and also just build your skill set. That's the point of this. I had read about grafting, I've seen grafting, I have planted a grafted tree, but I had never actually taken the time to do it myself. And this video was taking a shot at that, for better or worse. If it all fails, I'll pick it up and try it again later. If I'm able to get the success I'm looking for, it becomes a blessing, and we just keep moving forward, And so let me invite you to, subscribe to the channel. It's a learning process. I think life is a lifelong learning process, and no matter how good you think you get, you can take some time and reflect and be even better. And so this video is a part of me just being thoughtful about where I could improve, and areas I could go into and explore, and things that I can enjoy as a gardener. Trying new things and trying to get more for my trees and plants. If I had my preference, I would grow trees. That is my preference. I would grow a small farm of trees, and maybe at some point in life that would be a possibility. But if it's not, that's good too. My saving grace this year has been my mother. She's picked up the slack where I have slacked, and she's grown a full garden. And her and my stepfather have, plenty of produce to give. And so I've been living off of their produce. And, maybe I should make that a theme of this channel, garden in any space. You can garden a small amount or a large amount, and you can use it to get some exercise and alleviate stress. But, also a part of it is just being a part of a gardening community. And so if my watermelons aren't growing that good this year, I know people whose watermelons are. And I can trade nectarines or peaches for watermelons. Or I have a blackberry vine, and I can trade blackberries for tomatoes. Well, you could talk to your friends and trade or do some things, because you have, perennial crops and annual crops, and you can kind of bridge the gap, and you're not using money. You don't have to go to the grocery store, and that's a concept, and that is what New Victory Gardening is about. That's what Victory Gardening was about, and that's what New Victory Gardening is about. You can produce your food without having to spend very much money. You can produce high quality food in any space. You can alleviate stress. You can get exercise. You can have the benefit of gardening. And really, it's something that all you have to do is take the time to try and do it. And so, yeah, it's just a thought, as I'm finishing up this plan and setting these graphs, what is New Victory Gardening? What's the concept of gardening what's the concept of this channel? It really is that. It's building the resiliency. It's showing you that you don't have to use money for everything, that you can actually get some things for free. And it's also kind of just showing the importance of community, like real community. Who do you have? Family members, friends that grow, that you can rely on, and you can support one another with, you know, good and high quality food, you know. So if you want to see more of that, you know, as I finish up this video here, I'll leave you in suspense for what actually happened. Did the grafts take or did they not take? But please, you know, I invite you to subscribe. Helps the channel grow, and it's a part of what I'm trying to do with the channel, which is to have YouTube videos for interaction and just to show what's going on, but also like to offer seed and to be out in the community and support anyone who's willing to support, you know, in giving or in taking, and really building that community. So appreciate you making it to this point in the video. Okay, so here we have the finished product. Leave this like this for about 3 weeks. Don't touch it, don't agitate it, don't mess with it. The paper bag is to protect it and also to keep the moisture in. That's kind of like the most important thing right now once you get your grafts done. You see, trial and error. I was going to try a little new method to try and help, you know, promote that moisture, but it just wasn't worth it. The grafting wax works, and this is the way they do it. Or else your local extension can also help you do this. They'll often have and display grafted trees, and so fingers crossed. Wish me luck. I don't know what to say. Yeah, if this works out, it'll be great for, you know, our food sustainability, and also give me some time to work on other plants that we need so much and free up a little space in the yard. So yeah, we'll see, huh? So here it is. We have the finished product. If you see, oh, it's getting pretty big. Let's see if I can shake it and you can see that? That is my graft. And so it's growing up. It's growing pretty good, and it's making its own space. So out of the 6 grafts that I have, which, let's get a look at it, this is one of them. So I had 1 take and grow, and the other 5 did not. Here's the spent branch from the other. I just trimmed them out, you know. And so this branch unfortunately didn't take, but this one did. And that's kind of what it looks like, right? And so it's grown in now. I've taken the tape off, and it's kind of got a cover on it, and it's growing great. And so hopefully what the goal with this is to have a tree that produces both nectarines and peaches. And that's the end of the grafting process. And I might select one more branch and maybe try to graft 2. But we'll see. It depends on how this branch grows. I think actually if this grows well, it'll do what I want it to do and produce enough. And so yeah, my experience with this is it didn't go perfect, but it went well. You know, I do have, the desire was to get at least 1 branch to take, and that's what happened. And so my workload can go down, and I can get the same fruit with fewer trees. And so that's always nice. Yeah, grafting is something you just have to try. Like, if it's in your heart to give it a try, just, watch a video or two and then give it a go. And strangely enough, it's not super difficult, but it is meticulous, and you have to like follow the steps, the appropriate steps, and you have to like do it in the right season, and you have to make sure you've matched your plants well, and then just give it a go. And once you get used to doing it, I think it'll work out, and it's a great versatile way to get more in the same space. So you can have fruit that produces in May, in July, or in June and August, and it just helps your resiliency. And so with that, yeah, give it a go grafting. Wow, you made it to the end. Thank you. Please consider subscribing, and take care. God bless you.